According to Confucius, everyone should live by these principles. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is the noblest. Second, by imitation, which is the easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. When anger rises, think of the consequences. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Only the wisest and the stupidest of men never change. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. It is easy to hate and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. To those whose talents are above mediocrity, the highest subjects may be announced. To those who are below mediocrity, the highest subjects may not be announced. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. Heaven means to be one with God. Study the past, if you would divine the future. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Old age, believe me, is a good and pleasant thing. It is true you are gently shouldered off the stage, but then you are given such a comfortable front stall as spectator. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. I hear, I know, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. A superior man is modest in his speech, but he extends in his actions. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. You cannot open a book without learning something. The object of the superior man is truth. The strength of the nation derives from the integrity of the home. If we do not know life, how can we know death? If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are 3 universally recognized moral qualities of men. To see what is right and to not do it is want of courage or of principle. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better be his world and the world at large. The cautious seldom err. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. I want you to be everything that is you, deep at the center of your being. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. The expectation of life depends upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? To see the right and to not do it is cowardice. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of the soul, sincerity, earnest, and kindness. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. They must often change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. If you look into your own heart and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? What is there to fear? Death and life have their determined appointments. Riches and honors depend upon heaven. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. The superior man makes the difficulty to be overcome his first interest. Success only comes later. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. How to play music may be known. At the commencement of the piece, all the parts should sound together. As it proceeds, they should be in harmony while severally distinct and flowing without break, and thus on to the conclusion. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. When you are laboring for others, let it be with the same zeal as if it were for yourself. Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. When we see persons of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see persons of contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. The faults of a superior person are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them. They change, and everyone looks up to them. Faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. Virtuous people often revenge themselves for the constraints to which they submit by the boredom which they inspire. A youth, when at home, should be filial, and abroad respectful to his elders. He should be earnest and truthful. He should overflow in love to all and cultivate the friendship of the good. When he has time and opportunity, after the performance of these things, he should employ them in polite studies. Look not at what is contrary to propriety. Listen not to what is contrary to propriety. Speak not what is contrary to propriety. Make no movement which is contrary to propriety. He who exercises government by means of his virtue may be compared to the North Polar Star, which keeps in its place and all the stars turn towards it. If some years were added to my life, I would give 50 to the study of the Yi, and then I may come to be without great faults. Speak the truth, do not yield to anger, give if thou art asked for little. By these 3 steps thou wilt go near the gods. Instead of being concerned that you have no office, be concerned to think how you may fit yourself for office. Instead of being concerned that you are not known, seek to be worthy of being known. Look at the means which a man employs. Consider his motives. Observe his pleasures. A man simply cannot conceal himself. To rule a country of 1,000 chariots, there must be a reverent attention to business and sincerity, economy in expenditure, and love for men, and the employment of the people at the proper season. The book salesman should be honored because he brings to our attention, as a rule, the very books we need most and neglect most. The firm, the enduring, the simple, and the modest are near to virtue. I will not be concerned at other men's not knowing me. I will be concerned at my own want of ability. I am not one who was born in the possession of knowledge. I am one who is fond of antiquity, and earnest in seeking it there. The superior man does not even for the space of a single meal, contrary to virtue. In moments of haste, he cleaves to it. In seasons of danger, he cleaves to it. He who acts with a constant view to his own advantage will be much murmured against. Go before the people with your example and be laborious in their affairs. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Wisdom and Well-Being for more.